I just spent like 2 minutes looking for my phone, completely forgetting that I was using it to film this video. Hey guys, in today's video I have a Hobonichi cousin system update for you. I did a video maybe a couple months ago. I will link that video up above here, but basically just talking about how I've been using my Hobonichi cousin for 2021 and how I am still using my Hobonichi cousin for 2021, which if you're a planner person, you know that that is quite a feat in and of itself. But I just, man, I just can't sing the praises of the Hobonichi cousin enough. I've been using one kind of on and off for 4 years now, and the more I use it, the more I find that it is just really such an all-encompassing system. Every time I think that this planner is missing something that one of my other planners had and I need that, I've somehow found a way to incorporate that into this planner. It's a great size. There is so much space and there's so many opportunities to do pretty much whatever you want with this planner. It's a great planner overall. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been working for me, what's not been working for me, what might be changing in the future. But overall, for the most part, I have been very, very happy in this system right here. I apologize for my beat up hands. I just got my hair cut and I bought a curling wand. And pro tip, if it comes with a heat protective glove, use it. If it doesn't come with a heat protective glove, buy one before you use it. So anyway, my hands are healing up right now, so I'm sorry that they're so ugly, but hey, at least my nails are pretty, right? All right, so let's get into it. I've been this year using the Hobonichi cousin as my like all-in-one monthly planner, weekly planner, bullet journal, collections, and daily journaling and memory keeping. And that has been going really, really well, except that something that has always kind of bothered me about keeping that all together. I wake up, I swear I wake up and one day it's like, I want everything all together. And then the next day it's like, I don't want everything all together. I need to separate my like personal journaling stuff away from my planning stuff. So I go back and forth on whether or not I like having everything all together. And so with that being said, I have definitely been considering moving my planning out of this Hobonichi system into one of these two systems. The weeks has definitely caught my eye. I've been messing around in my 2019 version that my lovely planner friend gifted me a couple of years ago, and I just redated a few weeks to see if this would work for me, and I am definitely finding ways to make the weeks work for me. These are not very expensive. It was about 20 bucks, and so I picked up the 2021 version to keep messing with. There's things that I absolutely love about this planner. There's things that I miss about the cousin. There are things about the A6 that I think are really, really useful. And that's what's the great thing about the Hobonichi system is I could technically do all of my planning in any one of these three systems and still get by just fine. So it's really about kind of tweaking the system to what works best for you and what you want out of it. But there's about 5 elements of planning that I need in my system, no matter what I'm using. Monthly planning, weekly planning, sometimes daily planning, or a place to, when I have really overwhelming days, write down a lot of stuff in one location, bullet journal collections, and habit tracking. And I can figure out how to do that in all 3 of these systems. And in fact, I think that's going to be my next video, is talking about how to get all 5 of those elements into the A5 cousin, the weeks, or the A6 original. The only reason, honestly, A6 is not my favorite size to plan in, but the Hobonichi covers that they release, unfortunately, they don't release all of the same covers in A5 and A6, and I don't know why. I wish that they would, but the only time I've really ever been tempted away from the cousin size to the A6 size is when they release like some ridiculously cute A6 size cover that I just can't get over, this being one of them. The other one being this really cute camp cover, which I'll insert a photo of here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It is so cute and I am obsessed with it. I don't know why. Like sometimes I just see a cover and I'm like, oh my God, I need that. I have a couple of A6 Hobonichi covers that I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I just want to keep them in my collection because Hobonichi releases their covers on a limited term basis. So if you see a cover from 4 years ago that you absolutely love, good luck finding it, unfortunately. There are buy-sell trade groups, but if I see a cover that I like in the A6 size that I just like cannot stop thinking about, I'll buy it. just to have, not knowing whether or not I'll ever use it one day. But that got me thinking that I could potentially recreate some of the covers that I really like in the A6 size in either the week size or the cousin size. And that's what led me to this. So this is actually, I bought some digital scrapbooking paper on Etsy, which I will link this particular shop down below. But like, this is really cute camping scrapbook paper. I printed it out, I trimmed it down, and you know, it's not exactly perfect because letter size paper is a little bit too short. And I will like kind of finagle this a little bit better, but you could print off 2 versions of it, slice it somewhere here and overlap it, and you wouldn't even hardly be able to see it. But I stuck the scrapbook paper inside of a clear cover. I got this one. This would work with the Midori, the MD plastic cover. I got this one from Phelps Designs. I will link her shop down below. I got an A5 and an A6 size. I'm probably going to pick up a week's version as well. But it's a really nice, like, sturdy vinyl plastic cover with a couple pockets on the inside. The only thing that it's missing is a pen loop, but I could easily attach one of those like elastic pen loop things in the back here. But this is kind of like my workaround to, like, I really want the A6 camping cover for the cousin and I can't get it. So this is kind of like the next best thing that I came up with. This cover on cover, this is a cover on cover. This is a cover. This is a cover on cover. This is like an interior cover. But this one from Phelps Design actually does slip inside a regular Hobonichi cover. So you could put it in one of your favorite like classic Hobonichi covers like this and flip it open and have, you know, whatever scrapbook paper in the front. So I know it seems silly, but like sometimes I just see things and I'm like, oh God, I have to have that. And this scrapbook paper actually inspired the video that I'm going to talk about for today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. I've been using Skillshare classes to learn how to draw on my iPad on Procreate so I can create some custom stickers for my Etsy shop. But they also have a really awesome class about creating repeating patterns so that you can basically make your own background paper or your own scrapbook type paper. So I immediately went to check out this class that shows you how to do that on your iPad. Skillshare is an online learning community built to help you unleash your creative potential. New classes are constantly being added, so if you want to learn something new or brush up on an old skill, this is the place to do it. I've been taking classes to familiarize myself with my iPad as a drawing tool, and I really wanted to learn how to create backgrounds and scrapbook type papers with repeating patterns. I found this really awesome class that shows you step by step how to create an original image and then transform that into a repeating pattern. I may not be able to always find the perfect cover for my Hobonichi, but after taking this class, I'm confident that I will be able to create the perfect cover. Skillshare classes are broken down into shorter, more manageable lessons that allow you to learn at your own pace and repeat lessons if you need more practice. These classes are curated for learning, so there's no ads, and at less than $10 a month for an annual subscription, this tool can fit any budget. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description box below will receive a free trial of a Skillshare premium membership. If you guys have been watching my videos for any amount of time, you know that I only recommend stuff that I personally use and love, and Skillshare is no exception. Anyway, I could certainly make any one of those planners work for me. Right now, I have actually been having quite a bit of fun with the Hobonichi weeks, and there are 2 sources of great inspiration for my weeks right now. I will leave links to their Instagram handles and also their YouTube channels down below, but the first one is Lindsay Scribbles. She makes some amazing spreads. She does a really good job utilizing not a whole lot of space in this planner and making it feel massive. And then the other person I really love is Sam Plans. I will link the information to both of those channels down below so you guys can go check them out, but I'm not ready to show how I have this one working for me yet. I want to work in it a little bit more, but I don't know, like I'm kind of smitten by this little thing. Like it is a very charming little planner. It feels great in your hands. Not that this is like a super humongous planner, but like just slipping this little like lady's wallet sized planner into my purse just feels so wonderful. I don't know. Like it's a great little planner to hold in your hands, and there is a ton of pages inside of here. So I'm still kind of messing around with that. I could very easily make these two things work together, and not in a like overlapping planning kind of way. I do not do multiple planners with the same information in more than one place. If I'm going to pull my planning out of this system, it's going to go 100% in here and no crossover. So I would turn this into just a journaling memory keeping system and use this only for planning. So I'm thinking I would continue to daily journal on the daily pages, because I have a ton of like blank, you know, A5 size journals that I could easily write in and just like date them at the top. But I have been so consistent in this Hobonichi this year particularly, but in the last couple of years, just having the dated pages for me has really helped me be consistent in like my daily journaling routine. And it is important to me to write down, you know, a little bit about my day every single day. My memory has steadily been getting worse and worse. And so just writing like a couple of things down about my day has really helped me feel a little bit more connected to my like day-to-day life. So I even if it's just 1 or 2 sentences, even if there's no drawing or doodling or anything like that, like there were a couple of days in here where I think I wrote like 1 or 2 sentences, and that's it. Like it was just regular long form writing. And then there's days where like I, you know, got out my watercolors and painted my little kitty. So I really like the space. I thought about using my A6 as a journaling spot, but I really like the space that this affords. If I want to use these for collections, I certainly can. So I can journal on one side. I had a checklist to do before a trip I went on, and then I had a packing list. I can easily use half of the page or about a third of the page for whatever collection note I needed, and then have plenty of space to journal on the other side. And additionally, I also bought this little notebook to stick inside the cover. So if for some, I've never run out of page space while I'm journaling in here ever in the 4 or 5 years that I've been using this. But all I would do is I would just tear out one of these sheets of paper and tip it in and have more space to write. So there is, I go back and forth on, oh my gosh, this planner is so huge, to, oh my gosh, how could I ever write in something, you know, it's literally half the size of this. I like having more space. The open blank space that I don't fill out, it doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. If I just needed to write a couple of sentences, that doesn't bother me. I like having space to be able to put in a drawing or some ephemera or something important from my day. That doesn't bother me at all. So one thing that I have done recently that I was very resistant to doing for a very long time is I have moved the vast majority of my collections to a digital version. And I have, you know, I love paper. I love the feel of paper. I love manually recording my days, my thoughts, my lists on paper with pen. But trying to figure out where to store my collections in a regular planner, while you can do that, does require, you know, an extra notebook or an extra something. I felt like I was coming up against a wall every time I was trying to figure out how to keep my collections in my Erin Condren or in my Hobonichi or in my Filofax. It was something that caused me to have like planner breakdown more often than I wanted. So I just decided to move my most important collections to my phone. I'm going to do a screen recording so that you guys can see exactly what it looks like on my phone. But basically I have a folder in my notes app, and any phone you know, should have some kind of notes app. And then at least on the iPhone, you can separate your notes into folders. I have a folder called collections. And then at the top of my collections, I have a section where I can pin important notes to the top. There are 3 that I have pinned at the top, and that's my inbox, my grocery list, and my shopping list. The shopping list is for things like, you know, Target, Amazon, Costco, any like non-grocery store type lists. And then the rest of my notes I have alphabetized. I have an alphabetical order, and they have a header and all the lists of things that I need to keep track of in that particular collection. And whether that's books I want to read or movies I want to watch, plants wish list, favorite dinners, ideas I have for my Etsy shop, all of those things exist as a collection within my collection folder. And what that does, At first I was very averse to this because I was like, what if my phone dies, or what if, the system shuts down or something like that? But I pay for iCloud storage every month. And so all of these things are being immediately uploaded to the cloud. I can access them from my laptop, from my iPad, or from my phone. And it's just really convenient to be able to get to my collections immediately from any one of my technological devices. The other thing that's doing is it's kind of eliminating a step for me. So what I used to do is I had a big inbox page that I would put information into there, and then maybe once a week or so, I would go through my inbox and pull out that information that needed to go to this collection or that collection or go into my planner. And it was almost like I was creating an extra step for myself. So now when I want to add something to a collection, like for example, my plants wish list, if I see a plant that I need to put on my wish list, I just flip open my phone and scroll down to that collection and type it right in there. I don't write it into my inbox so that I can remember to write it into my planner later on. I just have everything in my digital collections. And I've tried digital planning and wasn't very consistent with it, wasn't a huge fan of it. For me, that's more of a problem because I could only really digital plan on my iPad. If my iPad broke or if my iPad died, I could access it on my phone or my MacBook, but it's not the same experience as using the pen to write on the iPad. So that to me is something that I absolutely want to keep on paper, because plus I enjoy it. Like, I don't care where I write my collections down. The collections are just like straight business only, but writing on the Hobonichi paper, writing with a really nice pen, all of those things are a joy. And I want to have my planner system be on paper, but I'm totally at peace now with having my collections live on my phone in the iCloud. So with that being said, those are where all my long-term collections go that I refer to year after year after year. Short-term collections, like a packing list that I made, I took a trip to help my mom move, and so I needed to make a packing list, and I had a list of things I needed to do before I go. I don't necessarily need to put that into my iCloud collection list, so I just flipped open a new page and put it into my Hobonichi here. So that's like a temporary collection. My iCloud collections are more like long-term. I could certainly open up a note in my collections and write a packing list in there. But to me, this was just a little bit easier to access. I just flipped open my notebook and I could physically check it off as I was packing, and I preferred to do it that way. So the overview of the monthly planning has not changed much. This is, if you were a bullet journaler, this is basically like a future log as a bullet journaler. This is where I keep my high level events, keep track of bills, keep track of giving the puppies their flea and tick medication, keeping track of my husband's work schedule, doctor's appointments, things like that. So the monthly view is where I put high level stuff without much detail. And then every Sunday I sit down and I look at the week that we're going into, and I transfer any important information from here into my weekly view. And that's how I get my week started. And I have the other thing that's really allowed me to look at other planning systems that I never really looked at before is I have been pretty much just pen planning this year. There's a couple sprinkling of stickers here and there. It's easier for me to mark my husband's duty days with a sticker that I made here. I also made these holiday stickers, which I'm probably going to be releasing in my Etsy shop pretty soon. But it's very, very minimal. There's almost no decoration. I think, in fact, there was 1 week, I'll show you in my weeks, that I did a little bit of decoration, but very, very minimal. I've been using my mild liners as highlighters and also as a way to draw attention to an important event. But other than that, it's been just pen this year, and I'm really, really liking that. I'll use page flags or pencil to mark in things that aren't 100% for sure yet. We are getting ready to move cross country again, for my husband is in the Navy and we're PCSing back to the West Coast. So my monthly view actually really looks like this right now. It's a little bit crazy. But yeah, so and these things are all still fluid and moving around, so not quite sure, but don't let this fool you. This is actually quite busy these next couple of months. So that is where I keep my long-term stuff, and as we approach the month or the event, it solidifies, I'll put it down in pen. But yeah, so that's kind of boring there. let's get to the weekly view. Yeah, super minimal. Like I haven't even changed the like gray striping that I do. Like I box out, this is the top part of this is kind of where I put like holiday information or like something that's happening all week long. I'll write it across the top. Like if my husband changes shifts, I'll write that up here at the top. And then I have like work related stuff in this bottom part. So I do a line across the top, a line across the bottom here. And then this little segment is work related stuff. This is like my day to day. This is my like to-do list for the week on the side. If I have a lot of work tasks that aren't day specific, but just throughout the week, I will put them over here. I don't always section it off like that though. And then I put my weekly habit tracker right here at the bottom. So very, very minimal, just using pen, working on my hand lettering, which is not going great, but that's something I'm hoping to continue to improve on. Yeah, just very minimal. This is giving me happiness and giving me peace this year. Like I saw how my planner was looking last year with all kinds of different colors, all kinds of different stickers, and it was just making me like, I'm not at that part of my life. Like that stuff right now is not bringing me joy. Last week I did put a couple of stickers in for St. Patrick's Day and for the first day of spring, which I thought was really fun, but like this little smattering of stickers to me is far more appealing than the way that I was doing it with all kinds of colors and all kinds of stickers and all kinds of stuff. It was overwhelming. I'm really trying to pare down our belongings as well since we're moving again. So this I didn't mind as much, but yeah, just like very, very basic. I want pen and highlighter and that's pretty much it. So that is the gist of how I am doing weekly planning in here. I'm very comfortable in this planner and I do feel okay messing around in the week's planner, knowing that I have this to fall back on. In my, entirety of using a planner like this, if my husband needs information from it, he knows to just flip to the monthly view. He's never sat down and and snooped through the rest of the planner. None of that stuff would interest him anyway. Like he doesn't care to see that I'm saving, he doesn't care to see that I'm saving some random like sticky note from my mom or my sister. Like that's not, he doesn't care about that stuff. So I don't necessarily feel super strongly about pulling my planner stuff out. The other thing that I kind of want to get out of this and into this would be like health information tracking. So like habit tracking stuff, health information tracking stuff, things that if I'm using this purely as like a memory journaling keeper, I don't want to know, like I don't care about how many times I flossed that month being in this planner. I would rather have it be like, I would rather have that contained in here and not have to look back and be like, wow, you were terrible at flossing your teeth that week. So if I was to transition out of this as a planner, I would probably find some kind of doodle a day challenge on Instagram, which they're all over the place. You can find those really easily. So I'll start filling these days up with doodling, possibly use this as like a gratitude log, and then possibly using the weekly view. I would probably, flip it sideways and maybe utilize this for like practicing my hand lettering, like one big hand lettering word a day, or like repeating it 3-4 times like this, or maybe even getting back into practicing my hiragana and my katakana with my sister. So there's a lot of other things that I could do in here that would keep this still as like a journal memory keeper type planner without just completely abandoning the monthly and the weekly view. And I can't just abandon this like luscious Tomoe River paper. I have to find something to do with it. So still thinking about that, but in the grand scheme of things, like if I wanted to take this with me somewhere as a journal and then stick this into my purse as my planner, this takes up like no space at all. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to have both of these things in my purse or in my backpack or in my suitcase if I'm traveling. So I don't foresee the cousin going anywhere. I've used a lot of mental energy thinking about, should I just go back to like an A5 size journal? But honestly, like the Hobonichi cousin brings me so much joy. Flipping to that new blank page per day, every day is a new opportunity to write something new, and I just Love that about it. And it encourages me to write every day, even on the days that I've missed writing where we got home really late from somewhere. I immediately filled it in the next day and made sure that I got right back on track. If you guys would like to see a flip through of my daily pages, a little bit slower of a flip through, maybe with some like soothing music in the background, I would be more than happy to do that. Just leave me a comment down below if you guys would like to see me flip through the first quarter, and I will get that posted for you. So if you guys are we're heading into the second quarter of the year, how are you guys doing with your planning system? Are you going strong? Are you having planner meltdown? Have you changed your system up at all? What are you using? I would love to hear. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys, as always, so much for supporting my channel. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. I love hearing from you guys. I will leave any of the products that I talked about linked in my description box below, so be sure to check that out. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.